Welcome to EdsGuitarLessons.com. I'm going to do a video today on the Gearbox software for the Line 6 pedals. If you buy a Pod X3 Live or Pod Live pedal, it comes with software that's really kind of neat and really makes it so that you can use your pedal and adjust it and add stomp boxes and effects a lot more easily. Okay, what we're going to be looking at here is a thing called Gearbox, and it's right here on the screen. I don't know if you can see it. Okay, right there, Gearbox. You're also going to need this thing called Line Monkey. You get both of these things, Gearbox and Line Monkey, from their website, Line 6 website, and you can download it from there. Line 6 Monkey is basically it's an interface so that you can update the firmware on your pedal, and that you can also there's a lot of different patches and things that you can do there that and upgrades that you can get by using the Line 6 Monkey. Okay, the Gearbox is the interesting thing. I'm going to turn on the unit right now, and you should, when you know that you downloaded everything correctly, you're going to need the driver for the unit. You're going to need Gearbox and Line 6 Monkey, I'm sure there's a tutorial somewhere on downloading things like that. But I would do the Line 6 Monkey first, do the driver for the whatever pedal that you have, and then download Gearbox and follow the instructions on that, and it should get you up and running. If it's running correctly, you should, and you're plugged in with your USB port into your pedal, the foot pedal, the Line 6 pedal, you should hear that. Okay, if you hear that, then you know that it's talking. It sees it. For the first time, you'll see it downloading the software to make it work and all that, and you want to make sure that it's communicating. If you hear a funny sound like da 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 or da da da, three beeps instead of da da, then something's not right. You have to reload a driver or something, so it's not connected right. It sounds just like ta-da when it's loaded correctly. So after you get that all straightened out and you're able to go to Gearbox, you just basically click on it. It opens up like that. It's communicating right now with my foot pedal, uploading all these settings that are in the pedal and letting you see all the patches. There's two screens, that's 17 through 32, the banks, and then you go back 1 through 16 times 4. So you do the math. So 32 times 4 is 138, I think, something like that. Places where you can save things, where you can download, you can save a patch. These are all different patches, different sounds that you can get, and that it's actually communicating and seeing what's right on the pedal. Okay, I clicked on something there. This tells you what's in your box, each bank and each patch, and this is the actual Gearbox. This is what's the cool part here, is that it shows you in visual form the different things that are in the signal chain for that particular patch. This patch is listed here. It's my patch in 18B. Let's go there. It's this one here, 18AB. No, it ain't. That's the name of it. I don't even know where I got it saved, to tell you the truth. But anyway, I could have sworn it was on it's 18D. Right there. I call it 18B because that's the original place it was, but I moved it. So in 18D, you see that's where this patch is. We're looking at it over here as part of the list, and then over here we're looking at the actual devices that make this particular sound, which is a Lincoln Brewster sound, and I love this. Somebody knew Lincoln Brewster. He used to be a lead guitarist for Steve Perry from Journey, and then he became a Christian artist. And somebody went to his church, and Lincoln Brewster uses Line 6 stuff and Vox, and he was able to get the Line 6 patch for the pedal, and that guy uploaded it to the Line 6 website, and it's the actual patch that the guy uses, so it's dead on. I mean, it's the same exact patch. That's what LB stands for. And Lincoln had his in 18B, and everyone just calls it 18B. But what did he use? He used, it shows you. This is not a demo of the sounds, it's more to let you see what this is, what the Gearbox does. So it's showing you that he's using a 1968 Plexi Variac amp right here, and he's got all the settings just as Lincoln would have them, because that's how they were downloaded. He's using a 4x12 cabinet, 1968, with greenbacks, 25S it looks like. And so that's the amp that Lincoln used. You can adjust these, put them wherever you want. I don't want to tweak them because I like the sound already. And so, but you do have the option here to change the amp to anything you want. Okay, and there's, I don't know, 50 amps in there. Tweed, Fender, Marshall, Soldano, Jazz, Agro, Variac, British Gain Voxes. There's a ton that you can select from that it emulates that sound. So you can change the amp. You can also change the type of cabinet you want it to sound like it's playing through. Either a 1x6, 1x8, that's speaker size, 1x10 inch, Gibson tone. So they have all these old vintage models, a tiny Tweed, 1x8, which a lot of recordings were made on those tiny Tweeds. Here's a 1953 small Tweed. And all the way up to, you know, British Celestrians T75s, Line 6, big Tweeds, tread plate, Thunder, and Wishbrook book 2x12. So those are the kind of cabinets you can play it through, and it changes the sound to emulate as if you were playing through that type of an amp. Okay, you can connect or click on like a duck here. If you click on the amp setting here, these are all your stomp boxes, but they have here in the middle the amp, and it shows you a room that whatever you selected, you can actually change the positioning of the mic. Okay, which is, you know, people that are really into sound and tones and, you know, variances of the distance of where the mic is in the amp, you can simulate that right here. Okay, you can change the type of mic. They have a 57 on axis, that's a, you know, a Shure 57, Shure 57 off axis. You got a 421 dynamic mic and a 67 condenser mic that it will emulate that that's what you're using, and you can position it wherever you want. So you got some, you know, you can really dial in some sounds, you know, because recording artists, they varied where they put their mic. So here you have a place where you can do that. So we've seen the amp, we've seen what you can do with the amp and the mic positioning. We've seen here that it's got, you know, all these stomp boxes, and you can add or change them, a stomp box, by simply, say this gate here. You know, it has a gate, which is, you know, a thing that limits sound. But if you notice this little drop down, you can change that gate stomp box to a wah, to a modulator, cabinet, ER, a compressor, post EQ, volume control, FX loop, a delay or a reverb. So you're not limited to what you see here. You can add things and subtract things. If they're grayed out, it means they're not turned on, and all you do to simply turn on, for instance, this wah, you just click on it and the wah shows up. The type of wah that he used was a Veta, well no, he's not using it because it was grayed out. But you could add a Veta wah to, and that would mean that the volume pedal on the board itself would now be turned into a wah automatically if you had that turned on. You can change with this little drop down menu over here to something else. And oh, excuse me, we already know that. But down here in this screen, this drop down, there's different types of wahs. There's Veta wah, Vesa wah, Weeper. I have a Weeping Demon and I love it. Chrome, Chrome Custom, Throaty, Conductor, Colorful, and you can get more from the Line 6 website. So, you know, you're not limited to one type of wah, and there are different types of wahs. So, you know, it gives you variety, okay? That's what you want. So you got gates, wahs, stomp box, modulations. If they're grayed out, they're not turned on this particular setting. A compressor, EQ. You want to turn on an EQ. You can see how his EQ is laid out. You can change it if you want. I don't want to change it. The volume pedal, you can have it where you dial it in to whatever settings you like. It's got some delay on it, and reverb, okay? And reverb also has deluxe spring, standard spring, king spring, small room, excuse me, tiled room, bright room, dark hall. I mean, there's a myriad of different kinds of reverbs, because there are. You know, there's electronic reverb, there's spring reverbs, and then they set them up so that it would sound like a small room or a large room setting. Okay, so you have all those features in there, okay, that you can adjust, tweak, anything you want. You can come up with any combination you want with this Gearbox software. So it's visual, you can see it, it's grayed out, it's not on. If you turn it on by just clicking on it. There's a stomp box there, that's an FX boost, but we can change it. Look at all those. You got tube screamer, classic distortion, octave fuzz. There's all kinds of auto swell. There's an auto wah, FX killer, which is a cool sound. There's a bass overdrive, so it simulates a bass guitar, so that if you're recording, you don't need to buy a bass guitar. It'll simulate it with sub octaves. So there's female de-esser and male de-esser. I have no idea, but you know, there's all kinds of things that you can do to it. And then I guess if you want to just save it, well, whatever shows up here is actually showing up on the actual box itself. So if I change to this little tweed, which is another favorite one of mine, I see all the settings for a little tweed, what they got to get that sound, and it shows up on my box. That's what I see down there. It says little tweed, okay? And I like it. It's a nice, clean, pure sound. So it's a pure, clean, bright sound, okay? And there's just tons of stuff. There's Mesa Boogie in there, so you can get a Mesa Boogie sound. You add a tube screamer to it, and it's huge. It sounds huge. I'll give you a demo of that on my next video, okay? But I wanted to highlight Gearbox, that you need to get it. You need to, you know, if you're afraid of Line 6, you know, they've gotten better with the, you know, the installation, so it should go pretty smoothly. If you have any questions or comments or troubles with your installation, shoot an email or comment and I'll see if I can help you with it, okay? But don't shy away from this, because this makes it a visual way that you can see what you're doing on your box, on the foot pedal. You can save it there. I've tried saving from the computer. You get it set up, you get the sound you want here. Whatever you do here, you actually hear the immediate change through the box, through the amp. it's immediate. So whatever you're tweaking here, it affects the pedal immediately. So you like that. You go down to the pedal, there's a save button, you save it, hit the save button once, you click on it, hit the save button once, and then you can turn the dial to save it to any position you want, any place that you want to save it in one of these sections of 32 times 4. And then you click it again and it'll save it to that spot, or it'll save it to right where it was. You don't want to move it, then hit save, save again, it'll save it right exactly where you started from. So it's very, very nice software, very useful. I was kind of shy of it myself. It looked complicated, but really this simplifies it and makes tweaking, designing your own amps, designing your own sound with the myriad of stomp boxes they have and amps and cabinets, the sky's the limit. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Check it out, the Line 6 products. As I said, I'm playing through a Pod X3 live. They're selling used now. I've seen it for $200, $150 sometimes, because people, they don't want the complication that seems too complicated, but it's really not once you understand it. And when you add this feature, this is the visual. You see it. You see the boxes. You see the stomp boxes. They're there. You turn them on. You come down here and you can adjust anything on the stomp box. You go to another thing. It'll look at that. You go to a gate. You can adjust that. You can tweak the delay, turn it on or off, or what have you. And then you go down there and sell it. You go down there and save it on the pedal itself. So you're missing out if you just get the board itself and you don't use the software that comes with this. Fender has the Fender Fuse software that is very similar to this, and I've got demos on that. So these are about equal in their abilities and functionality and how they look. They look superb. They look like you're actually dealing with something and really got a hands-on feel that you can tweak your settings to right where you want them. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this. Thanks for looking at edsguitarlessons.com. God bless you. Check out all my videos. Got quite a few on a lot of different things that I demo, from pedals to guitars to amps. Got a lot of my students that are beginner students that want to get on screen, so I put them up. So there's a little bit of everything on this channel. So anyway, thanks for looking. God bless. Have a great day and a prosperous new year.